was based on the incorrect statement that Boston Children's performs hysterectomies on minors in connection with transgender care. For hysterectomies performed as a part of gender-affirming care, Boston Children's requires the patient to be capable of consenting for themselves. Age 18 is used to reflect the standard age of the majority for medical decision-making. Boston Children's does not and will not perform a hysterectomy as a part of gender-affirming care on a patient under the age of 18. We condemn these attacks in the strongest possible terms, and we reject the false narrative upon which they are based. We are working with law enforcement to protect our clinicians, staff, patients, families, and the broader Boston Children's community and hold the offenders accountable. We will continue to take all appropriate measures to protect our people. Boston Children's is proud to be the home to the first pediatric and adolescent transgender health program in the United States. Boston Children's Hospital is ranked best in the U.S. 9 years in a row. Libs of TikTok going at BCH is right on point for the brand. Bad faith, misinformation at best, just pure ignorance, and also malicious and also demonic, okay? What a fucking demon. What a scourge. Matt Walsh talked about it as well on his show. Here
Today
it
on the
is.
Matt Walsh Show, children's hospitals around the country are butchering, mutilating, and sterilizing their young patients. So according to Boston Children's Hospital, literally every toddler who has ever been born or will ever be born is trans. Now, if it seems like they're casting the widest imaginable net in order to catch the most children they can and put them all on a path to sterilization and butchery before they can even talk, well, that's because that's exactly what these monsters are doing. And they've done.
The fact that this kind of narrative can continue, by the way, is pretty incredible. But yet again, it's another example that, like, just no one gives a shit about trans people. Like, people just do not care about trans people. People talk shit about trans people. People literally call for blood. People call for the heads of trans people, and they can get away with it because no one cares. It is really fucked up. How are you legally just allowed to say whatever the fuck you want about a person or entity with zero repercussions? There's no protections. There are no protections.
Done it up until this moment without much resistance from the public. But that has to end. We have to stop making it so easy on them. And that's why I'm in the very early stages of trying to organize a national coordinated effort to fight back against this evil. You know, it's really just a matter of where do we begin? Maybe we begin at Boston Children's Hospital.
Boston Children's Hospital says its staff is being threatened and harassed now after far-right activists on social media posted misinformation claiming they perform gender-affirming hysterectomy procedures on young girls. The hospital says it's not true. They do not perform those procedures for anyone under the age of 18. Boston Children's Hospital says it is proud, though, to be home to the first pediatric and adolescent transgender.
The scary reality here is that if enough people are transphobic, you can just get away with this. If enough people are fucking white supremacists, you can get away with this. If enough people are anti-Semitic, you can say this and literally institute pogroms. It is the exact same bullshit, okay? That is the unfortunate, scary reality, okay? If there were adequate measures in place, there should be some, like, this person would be in jail. Like, he would literally be in jail. That is insane. It is completely fucking insane that Matt Walsh can go on his broadcast and straight up be like, we need to start a mass campaign against Boston Children's Hospital. And the goal is not about the truth, by the way. Let me just clear something up here. When you turn around and talk to a person like this or talk to one of their fucking followers and you say, well, technically they're not doing hysterectomies under the age of 18. You're actually wrong. Don't misunderstand. They probably know. They do not care. You have to recognize that, like, they are lying specifically so they can get more people on board with their cause. You're not going to be able to change their minds, and you're not going to be able to change the minds of a lot of people, because ultimately the conversation was never about trans women competing in sports. The conversation was never about trans women going and using the correct bathroom. The conversation always was about trans people existing, okay? And a lot of the people that turn around and fucking, that's freedom of speech? Oh, really? That's free speech? So if I were to say the exact same things that Matt Walsh is saying about trans people, but for you in particular, figure out where you live, dox your fucking family, okay, and then say that my gigantic audience should come over and do something about it, that would not be protected by free speech, would it? It would not. Of course it wouldn't. I would get banned immediately. So shut the fuck up. At this point, it's not even stochastic terrorism. Their logs are generally normal, to be honest. Yeah, but there's so many people that like lose their shit when trans people get brought up. Okay? That's it. That's why. No amount of harm can be no amount of disproportionate oppression that trans people face, okay, is going to cause them to finally turn their attitude around. They're just not going to, because they're just afraid. Yeah. Stephen Miller is elevating it. Stephen Miller is promoting it. This is monstrous. How does anyone involved in this still have a medical license? I wonder how. Because what you're saying is just a lie. It's an outright lie.
Health program in the United States. The hospital, though, now is working with law enforcement to try to better protect its staff.
Here it is. Matt Walsh, knowing that the Boston Children's Hospital staff are getting violent threats, continues to push inflammatory anti-trans, anti-Children's Hospital mocking tweets to his audience. Yes, this is stochastic terrorism. It's not. It's just direct terrorism at this point. At a certain point, you gotta realize that like this isn't stochastic. He is doing a call to action. When you're doing a call to action, I don't know how much of a I don't know what more you can say. I mean, he's not directly saying like bomb this hospital and kill the doctors, but he's pretty much saying that. He's saying it without saying it. We are deeply concerned by these attacks on our clinicians and staff, but not by irreparably mutilating the bodies of minors, apparently. That's awesome, dude. Fuck this guy. I really hope, I really, really, really hope that they get their ass fucked by the long dick of litigation, okay? I want these motherfuckers to just open up the coffers, okay? I want it so bad. I want it more than anything else. I want what's going on with Alex Jones to look like a joke, okay? I want them to be sued so fucking hard that they think long and hard about ever shitting on people for taking any kind of medical decision that they want to take ever again. Okay? They are unironically looking to, as the chatter also correctly pointed out, incite violence against these doctors. Incite violence against these doctors in the same vein as Bill O'Reilly did towards doctors that were providing abortions. But instead, these motherfuckers are able to just do whatever they want. They can be on YouTube, they can be on Facebook, they can be on Twitter and continue the blood libel. They can do all of this shit. They can do all of this shit. They can advocate for it nonstop. Ben Shapiro's doing it. Look, apparently carving fake penis out of arm flesh and suing them into minor girls not dangerous, quoting the people who promote such atrocities are verbatim dangerous. Remember, abortion is a one-to-one comparison to this. Why? Because it's a medical decision. It is a normal medical procedure. Okay? Top or bottom surgery, same shit. Normal medical procedure. Any medical procedure that you don't like personally, you could bastardize and make to make it seemingly incredibly violent. Because surgeries are just like, if you describe surgeries in real terms, it's going to come across like it's a really fucking violent thing, like open heart surgery. Do you understand? You could describe open heart surgery in the exact same way. You could describe tonsil surgery in the exact same fucking way. Do you understand? And they do this with abortion, and they're doing it with surgeries that trans men and women get. Now, the difference, of course, is that they're also lying and saying children are getting these surgeries when they can't. The right wing is radicalizing and arming the mentally ill for their political gain, dangerous stuff. Yeah. You could describe this about your wisdom teeth getting removed this exact same way. But of course, wisdom teeth removal is not happening exclusively to a minority of people that are getting fucking dunked on nonstop and can openly be discussed as an aberration, as a wound to be, as a fucking wound to be cauterized, or as a problem to be excised from society in the same way that trans people are. And that's it. That's why they can do that. That's why they can talk about that.